July 20th, 1969. Humans created history for the first time by landing on the moon. It was an unbelievable achievement for the people of Earth, because for the first time, we landed and walked out of this blue planet. Neil Armstrong, the first person to step onto the soil of the moon, became a hero overnight.
The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground.
Truly a historic time in the life of our country and in the existence of mankind.
But some people still question the moon landing with their theories and don't believe that incident at all. Now, we have walked on the moon just once, and after that we haven't gone there again. Pretty suspicious, right? Wrong. At least 12 men, including Armstrong, walked on the moon at different times. Before digging deep, let's dive a little bit into history. The 1960s were a time of fierce competition between the United States and the Soviet Union, the era of the space race. Both nations were determined to demonstrate their technological prowess and ideological superiority to the world. The launch of the Soviet satellite Sputnik in 1957 marked the beginning of this intense rivalry. The United States responded with its own space program, NASA, and the race to the moon was on. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy set an audacious goal for the nation: to land a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth by the end of the decade.
Before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth.
Quite a big statement, nah? But what happened was America actually kept his word in 1969 by landing on the moon. But was it real? Absolutely it was. About 400,000 scientists, engineers, technologists, machinists, electricians worked on the Apollo program. How can you make 400,000 people's mouths shut for 50 years? Let's debunk some myths and theories. Theory 1. How can the American flag flap if there is no wind on the moon? It wasn't an ordinary flag. NASA designed special flags for astronauts. You can see it only moves while the astronauts are grinding it into the moon's surface. After the astronauts step away, it stays in the same bent shape because of the partially extended rod. Theory 2. Why can't we see the stars in the moon sky? All of the exposures of the astronauts on the moon are daylight exposures, and the cameras were too short to capture the spacesuits and the moon's surface while also capturing the comparatively dimmer stars. Theory 3. The shadows aren't right. If the sun were the only source of light, why is it possible to see certain objects even though they are in shadow? This must be the result of special Hollywood lighting. The problem with this theory is that although the sun is the main source of illumination on the moon, it isn't the only source of illumination. Another source is the lunar ground, which reflects the sun's light. This is why, in some images, you can make out a plaque that Armstrong and Aldrin left on the moon. Even though it's lying in shadow, we will cover the Kubrick theory later. But why did we need to land on the moon? Well, it was not just a space race. This mission was a great scientific exploration in history. The Apollo missions brought back over 800 pounds, approximately 382 kilograms, of lunar rock and soil samples. Analysis of these samples revealed valuable information about the moon's composition, age, and geological history. Scientists discovered that the lunar surface is primarily composed of igneous rocks, such as basalt and orthosite, formed from volcanic activity and impact events. These features helped scientists understand the moon's volcanic history and the processes that shaped its surface. Seismic instruments left on the lunar surface by Apollo astronauts detected thousands of moonquakes, revealing the moon's seismic activity and internal structure. Analysis of moonquake data provided insights into the moon's composition and tectonic activity. Instruments deployed on the lunar surface measured temperature variations and radiation levels. This data helped scientists understand the lunar environment and its potential effects on future human exploration and habitation. Just imagine, if we never go on the moon, could we think about getting such information? Could we aim to go to Mars? Yes, we are far from Mars, but we know now that it's not impossible. This thinking about going beyond would never happen if we didn't take the decision to go to the moon. Now here's the main question. Why is the budget so huge? It's a huge chunk of money that could be a yearly budget of a continent, not a country. Did the American government stage everything to cover up any deficit or issue? Actually, the truth is, $25.8 billion is the budget of the whole Apollo program, which includes successful missions like Apollo 7, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, and 17, from which Apollo 11 costed $355 million at that time. What we know now is that even the Soviet Union, who were the first pioneers of space, had to stop their lunar landing program due to high budgets. If something fishy would happen, they would be the first one to point it out. And guess what happened instead? Moon landing was telecasted live on Soviet television, and they also congratulated later. Here comes the big question, did Kubrick filmed it? What Kubrick achieved in 2001, A Space Odyssey, was phenomenal. A science fiction which is the finest to realistic. It was released in 1968. But if NASA wanted to play the makeup game with Kubrick, would they release that film? No way. If it happened, did NASA shoot every moon landing with Kubrick? Where did those moon samples come from? Satellite and telescope images also proved the landing on the moon. If it was filmed, would the Soviet Union be silent? A few years back, Stanley Kubrick's daughter also stated in social media that there is no truth in those theories about her father. Now, why was the moon landing important? Landing on the moon allowed scientists to conduct groundbreaking research and experiments, providing valuable insights into lunar geology, surface conditions, and the history of our solar system. The samples and data collected during the Apollo missions continue to be studied today, furthering our understanding of planetary science. The Apollo program spurred significant technological innovation, leading to advancements in fields such as aerospace engineering, materials science, and computer technology. The moon landing demonstrated the technological and scientific prowess of the United States during the height of the Cold War. It symbolized American leadership in space exploration and bolstered national pride and morale. The achievement also showcased the potential for peaceful cooperation among nations in pursuit of common goals. Landing on the moon was a crucial milestone in humanity's journey beyond Earth. It was a beginning that was extremely important. It provided a stepping stone for future space exploration efforts, including crewed missions to Mars and beyond. The moon also holds potential as a staging ground for further exploration of the solar system and eventual human colonization. It continues to inspire and challenge us to reach for the stars and explore the unknown. So, if it never happened, we couldn't have come this far.